you wouldn't.
I'm just wondering why he's not going for tanks.
Second engineering bay?
Yeah, I feel like War Death could be grabbing another upgrade, but then again.
No, not when you tech this path. You don't get the upgrade, the second eBay until later. You get the third command center and then maybe another eBay, unless you're being a little bit weird about it. Yep. Drop it in right there. He'll see that command center building. Looks like he'll probably stop it. Yep. Oh, can he force a cancel on this? That would be great.
War Death doesn't want to let
Boom!
it happen.
Cancel. Sick cancel. Oh, and he snaps off the medevac. That might have been a net loss for Bay, actually. There's a lot of hit points lost on those Marines, but the first medevacs are just now coming out, so
just gonna give that starting energy something to do.
That was pretty good for War Death, all things considered. He did lose the command center, and that sucks, but Bay is just starting his too, and Bay lost a lot more than 100 minerals.
War Death, he hasn't dropped his command center down again. He's not building.
Also, Skype does this great thing where you get quieter whenever we talk. Kinda sucks.
Still with us, Ether?
Yeah.
Can you hear
me?
Cool, there we go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell when something is just a temporary snafu or when something is just broken off.
Okay, that's like a really weird spot for a sensor tower by War Death.
Oh,
like
over
right
on the corner?
the left edge of the map.
It's a little bit funky considering he's got another base going there. I suppose it'll be really safe. That
Now
sensor tower will never die.
What round was this game in?
This is a round 1 game. I don't have a lot of round 2 games, and some of the ones I got were not interesting.
So what's the official title? Round 1 AHGL qualifiers?
What?
I'm thinking
Just
of a
look
good
at the
title
other
here.
videos, man. Look at recorded tab and go from that.
Exploring buttons.
So having Paddock manage your content, it's not my best decision ever. But I can't work the observer keys, all of the settings, and do the chat at the same time. There's only so far.
I hear on these computers you need to like open some form of Windows.
Yeah, you do need a Windows.
And then there are words in them.
Yeah.
So we got Bay moving out right here. He's only at 113 supply against War Death's 145.
He's going to need some really good positioning to make this work.
Oh, yeah.
War Death actually just circumventing him with some of that bio, but Bay is sieged up.
Okay, he's in sensor tower range right now. War Death should be able to see that bleep.
Yep,
and he scans it. He sees the army.
He does, and he has
and he loses, like,
oh no,
right off the bat.
So, almost equal now. Bay in a pretty good position, cutting him off from his third. Bay stims, moves in a little bit too far. That siege tank is helping the second one, not getting a lot of surface area, but Bay in a good spot here.
Wow, that was.
Oh, this is so close.
Having a hard time just killing off the last of that bio.
And Bay just barely takes that.
Medevacs die.
Yeah, losing those medevacs really sucks.
Oh, some reinforcements running in, but I don't think they're gonna.
Oh, he's gonna get at least 1 tank. Possibly more. Those Marines have very low hit points. Ah! Intense micro from both players, and Bay does a great job of lowering the army supply of War Death, but really not doing a lot of economic damage yet. War Death, you can see his minerals are just skyrocketing.
Check
Bay up there now too.
Vikings. How long have they been chewing there? 1 and
1 and 1.
Okay,
not very many.
Not an appreciable amount of damage.
They hit some gas, hit the orbit a little bit, but the SCVs were pulled pretty quickly. So, yeah, and now we're in a situation where the supplies are very even. War Death's still in a commanding SCV lead, but Bay does have his third now. He just landed a buttload of mules.
War Death has a force moving quick down to the south.
But Bay does spot this. That's in plain view for him. So he's got a much bigger force heading down. This will not do a lot of damage. Unless it kills those Vikings. That would be sad.
Oh, we have War Death killing like 5 mules.
Does nail 3 mules and keep a couple more from mining. Bay comes in, stims, takes it all out.
I think that was worth it.
Maybe so. The superior income from War Death definitely makes that, skews that in his favor.
Yeah, and War Death is starting weapons and armor level 3, while Bay only has weapons level 3 started. So War Death's infantry is going to be just that much stronger.
He has a lot of medevacs. Looks like he's got 6 medevacs total. He's only moving out with a small force, though. This is a really bad idea.
Might be able to catch a couple medevacs, though.
Oh, he does nail a tank. So traded a tank for a medevac here. And Bay's still at 4 medevacs with some Vikings and quite a few Marines. This is interesting. The positioning here is going to be very tenuous.
War Death
scouts it again.
Barely missing that army maneuvering to the right there.
He can see it with the watchtower, though, at this point. Bay just running in.
But no speed.
Oh, stim from War Death. Grabs a few Marines and pulls back. Pretty equivalent so far. Bay does have the Vikings, but trying to use Vikings against a watchtower is a futile endeavor. I'll let you know that right now. Oh, lots of tanks sieged up here from War Death. Bay moving in a little bit hasty.
Nice point by War Death.
Oh,
everything up.
And War Death looks good.
Wow.
But yeah, War Death taking that out.
By War Death.
Yeah, I love these couple of tanks over here. It's a common strategy. Once you're sieged up and you know your opponent's sieged up, take a couple Marines, take a little Bioforce, go around the side there. And War Death was just way ahead of that with those tanks. And
now
knew
War
that
Death
was going to happen.
40 supply ahead.
Yep, and so you get a couple pot shots for free on the Bioforce. And now War Death is just sprinting ahead, getting across the map, taking up a position. Bay trying to split prematurely, get ready for the inevitable siege up. Ooh. I like the load up by War Death. He's going to have to make sure to empty that medevac or that could be a problem.
There he goes.
Please empty. There you go.
I like how War Death is not overextending. He's slowly moving up his siege line.
Yeah, he's being really careful about this.
Even though he's ahead. Nice tanks right there.
Tank.
Nabs a tank. Helps him out.
2 medevacs for his trouble, and maybe a 3rd. Yep.
Ooh, good snipes by Bay there. So level 3 is done for War Death. Bay is just now getting his armor. So he's already had weapons. And they're just producing mostly Marines. War Death running out of money is natural.
Really.
Bay still has some there. A couple of idle SCVs in the main for both players, really. That's an awful lot of SCVs to mine 2 minerals.
War Death is almost maxed out, 196 to 200 out of 200 supply.
Yep, so we are at 200 versus 170 of Bay. And Bay is building that command center, so is War Death. War Death just stims in, runs all the way in. And he has so many units.
Catches Bay out of position, managed to get up a nice siege line.
Yeah, the tank count is not super high for Bay, though. He's getting a couple shots here, but there's nothing to tank for this tank. Oh!
And there goes Bay's entire economy. That 3rd got shut down immediately.
Yeah, and this is a really bad spot for Bay. He was even building his 4th command center over here, so that's gone. And just no hope of getting that back up right now.
Looks like Bay did sneak a drop out. He's going to go take out the 4th for, or maybe go right past it. Bay is a little preoccupied, maybe.
Yeah, he's not paying a whole lot of attention to this. It's just on a drop order in this corner. These extra factories might take some damage, but all in all, this is not going to do a whole lot to War Death other than distract him.
Yep, the best he could have hoped for was slowing down that 4th, and even that wouldn't have exactly been a kill shot.
War Death sees this is not a big drop. He doesn't actually need to pull back. He notices that the tanks are unsieged, so he's just going to run in with his way higher supply count and probably murder most of what Bay has right now.
And here comes the round of tank fire. 2nd round wipes out the remaining Marines.
Oh, he's running out of Marines. SCVs get in the tank line. Oh, that's ugly. Oh.
Meanwhile, Bay's drop is still actually in the base.
How is that happening? He killed 1 factory. There really wasn't a whole lot other than a couple Marines in the factory. The Vikings land on the tanks and break the siege. Oh no.
5 versus 33. I don't know if they can come back from
Yeah,
this.
those numbers are telling a certain story.
Yeah.
And there's the
GG. Go ahead and
GG.
call it.
Good game. That was a good game.
All right, so we
Nice
will go into the
comeback
last
by
one.
Wardeath. See if he can follow through in game number 3.
Yeah. So, loading up game 3. Cool. Oh, that was a good game too. There were a couple key battles early on that really sort of decided the pacing of that game, and a whole lot of it revolved around that northeast watchtower area, and then on the converse side around Bay's third as well. So that area is super key in TVT to hold that and make sure that you've got those cliffs. You can get the siege tanks up there. So let's go ahead and start this one. You ready there, Ether?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. And so, down here in the 5 o'clock position, we have the Red Terran,
Magrus.
and at something that appears to be about 2, possibly 3,
Microsoft Waters.
the Blue Terran. Yeah, it's not a GSL intro if we don't talk over it a little bit.
I know. That's awesome.
Exactly. All right.
But they got better at it these days in GSL. Like, you don't hear that as much anymore.
Yeah,
I wonder
so
if
they
they
actually have-
figured it out.
It's
They
actually
have
a
a
little
different-
depressing. I miss it so much.
No.
They have a
like
different pre-roll for the Korean commentators and the English commentators now. Sometimes you can hear it in the background repeating itself, because I believe that they actually have it so that the English commentators, Tasteless and Artosis, can say that and then roll it for the English stream only. And then the Koreans can say it whenever they want and roll it for the Korean stream, whereas in the past, Tasteless had to kind of like listen and hope and take the cue from the Koreans and just sort of say, the Red Terran in the south at the 5 clap. Oh, okay. And it was
I
And
genuinely
he would
miss
be
it
like,
when
and
you-
his ID is... And then it's
greatest
like
Terran in the world.
and it's
This is
like-
MVP. Won so many champions. Okay, there it is.
it's Charlie Brown, dude. You've grown up watching Charlie Brown just miss that football every single time he tries.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
he always gives it his best shot. And now Charlie kicks the ball every time, and it's the magic is dead.
Yeah, it's all gone.
The beginning of the end, folks.
So Wardeath has scouted a lot earlier. He's got gas a lot earlier. He may be doing something kind of aggressive, and now he knows where his opponent is. So what's his reaction? Nothing, because there's nothing you can do right now as a Terran other than build a supply depot.
You build a command center and a marine, or an orbital, and that's it.
So, Bay has kind of the superior siege up drop situation here, where he can go straight across his third.
Wardeath is building a proxy barracks in the weirdest spot
Oh
ever.
snap!
What?
Why is that a
Reapers?
barracks?
That's got to be Reapers.
It could be Reapers. You can drop down right here and then right up again.
Well, if it's not Reapers, then I agree. That is the strangest place you could ever put a barracks.
But I mean, at this point, okay, there's a tech lab, and that's a Marauder.
So there goes. The
I mean,
gas-
this could float over here. Okay,
It
we're
could-
just
it
gonna
could
have to
float
see.
over, but
We're just gonna have to see. But that's a little bit far for a float. I don't know why you wouldn't build it here if you were floating.
And it's quite a bit of a gamble to float a barracks up there.
It may be
Yeah.
that he's floating straight into the base. That would be ridiculous and awesome. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to see it. I'm just excited.
Oh, tech lab. So
there
maybe
is
it's
a tech
Reapers.
lab going down.
Yeah. Oh, and
going
right
from
here. So he's
Marauder
not
Reaper.
floating it anywhere. If he does Marauders, though, the Marauders are going to have quite the run distance.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Marauders.
It still could be. It still totally
well,
could
he
be.
is getting concussive shells. Jeez, Wardeath, what is going on in your head?
And so Bay is now taking his 2 gas. He has 2 barracks coming up. No bunker. The fast expand being
And did
built.
Wardeath see that?
There's
No,
2
he did
Marauders
not
being built.
see the expand.
He
It's
did
gotta
not
be
see
from
the
those other
expansion,
barracks.
so he doesn't know, but he has this crazy aggressive opening. He already has 2 Marauders and a Marine. He has 2 more Marauders stacked up at the far barracks, and 1 more coming down from the main. So he has vastly superior